Bubs. Welcome to another edition of Quran with Sulaiman. 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 Alright, let's open up a page and see what we have to hear. Still an instruction. And complete the Hajj or Umrah in the service of Allah. But if ye are prevented from completing it, send an offering for sacrifice, such as ye may find, and do not shave your heads until the offering teaches the place of sacrifice. And if any of you is ill or has any ailment to his scalp necessitating shaving, he should, in compensation, either fast or feed the poor or offer sacrifice. And when ye are in peaceful conditions, if anyone wishes to continue the Umrah on to the Hajj, he must make an offering such as he can afford. But if he cannot afford it, he should fast 3 days during Hajj and 7 days on his return, making 10 days in all. This is for those whose household is not in the precincts of the sacred mosque, and fear Allah and know that Allah is strict in punishment. For Hajj are the months well known. If anyone undertakes that duty therein, let there be no obscenity, nor wickedness, nor wrangling in the Hajj. Whatever good ye do, be sure Allah knoweth it, and take provision with you for the journey. But the best of provisions is right conduct. So fear me, O ye that are wise. It is no crime in you if ye seek of the bounty of your Lord during pilgrimage. Then, when ye pour down from the Mount Arafat, celebrate the praises of Allah at the sacred monument, and celebrate his praises as he has directed you, even though before this ye went astray. Then pass on at a quick pace from the place whence it is usual for the multitude so to do, and ask for Allah's forgiveness, for Allah is often forgiving, most merciful. So when ye have accomplished your holy rites, celebrate the praises of Allah as ye used to celebrate the praises of your father. Yeah, with far more heart and soul, there are men who say, Our Lord, give us thy bounties in this world, but they will have no portion in the hereafter. And there are men who say, Our Lord, give us good in this world, and good in the hereafter, and good, and save us from the torment of the fire. To these will be allotted what they have earned, and Allah is quick in account. Celebrate the praises of Allah during the appointed days, and if anyone hastens to leave in 2 days, there is no blame on him. And if anyone stays on, there is no blame on him. If his aim is to do right, then fear Allah, and know that ye will surely be gathered unto him. There is the type of man whose speech about this world's life may dazzle thee, and he calls Allah to witness about what is in his heart. Yet Is he the most contentious of enemies? When he turns his back, his aim everywhere is to spread mischief through the earth and destroy crops and cattle. But Allah loveth not mischief. When it is said to him, Fear Allah, he is led by arrogance to more crime. Even for him is hell. Enough for him is hell. An evil bed indeed to lie on. And there is the type of man who gives his life to earn the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is full of kindness to his devotees. O ye who believe, enter in Islam wholeheartedly, and follow not the footsteps of the evil one, for he is to you an avowed enemy. If ye backslide after the clear signs have come to you, then know that Allah is exalted in power, wise. Will they wait until Allah comes to them in canopies of clouds with angels in his train? And the question is thus settled. But to Allah do all questions go back for decision. Ask the children of Israel, how many clear signs we have sent to them. But if anyone after Allah's favor has come to him substitutes something else, Allah is strict in punishment. The life of this world is alluring to those who reject faith, and they scoff at those who believe, but the righteous will be above them on the day of resurrection. For Allah bestows his abundance without measure on whom he will. Mankind was one single nation, and Allah sent messengers with glad tidings and warnings, and with them he sent the book and truth, to judge between people in matters wherein they differed. But the people of the book, after the clear signs came to them, did not differ among themselves, except through selfish contumacy. Allah, by his grace, guided the believers to the truth concerning that wherein they differed, for Allah guides whom he will to the path that is straight. Or do ye think that ye shall enter the garden of bliss without such trials as came to those who passed before you? They encountered suffering and adversity, and were so shaken in spirit that even the messenger and those of faith who were with him cried, When will come the help of Allah? Ah, verily, the help of Allah is always near. They asked thee what they should spend in charity. Say, whatever wealth ye spend that is good is for parents and kindred and orphans and those in want and for wayfarers. And whatever ye do that is good, Allah knoweth it well. Fighting is prescribed upon you, and ye dislike it. But it is possible that ye dislike a thing which is good for you, and that ye love a thing which is bad for you, but Allah knoweth, and ye know not. They ask the concerning fighting in the prohibited month. Say, fighting therein is a grave offense, but graver is it in the sight of Allah to prevent access to the path of Allah, to deny him, to prevent access to the sacred mosque and drive out its members. Tumult and oppression are worse than slaughter. Nor will they cease fighting you until they turn you back from your faith, if they can. And if any of you turn back from their faith and die in unbelief, their works will bear no fruit in this life and in the hereafter. They will be companions of the fire and will abide therein. Those who believed and those who suffered exile and fought and strove and struggled in the path of Allah, they have the hope of the mercy of Allah, and Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. They ask thee concerning wine and gambling. Say, in them is great sin and some profit for men, but the sin is greater than the profit. They ask thee how much they are to spend. Say, what is beyond your needs? Thus doth Allah make clear to you his signs, in order that ye may consider their bearings on this life and the hereafter. They ask the concerning orphans. Say, the best thing to do is what is for their good. If ye mix their affairs with yours, they are your brethren. But Allah knows the man who means mischief from the man who means good. And if Allah had wished, He could have put you into difficulties. He is indeed exalted in power, wise. Do not marry unbelieving women until they believe. A slave woman who believes is better than an unbelieving woman, even though she allures you. Nor marry your girls to unbelievers until they believe. A man slave who believes is better than an unbeliever, even though he allures you. Unbelievers do but beckon you to the fire, but Allah beckons by His grace to the garden of bliss and forgiveness, and makes His signs clear to mankind, that they may receive admonition. That as the concerning women's courses say, they are a hurt and a pollution, so keep away from women in their courses, and do not approach them until they are clean. But when they have purified themselves, ye may approach them in any manner, time, or place ordained for you by Allah. For Allah loves those who turn to Him constantly, and He loves those who keep themselves pure and clean. Your wives are as a tilth unto you, so approach your tilth when or how ye will, but do some good act for your souls beforehand, and fear Allah, and know that ye are to meet Him in the hereafter, and give those good tidings to those who believe. And make not Allah's name an excuse in your oaths against doing good, or acting rightly, or making peace between persons. For Allah is one who heareth and knoweth all things. Allah will not call you to account for thoughtlessness in your oaths, but for the intention in your hearts, and He is oft forgiving, most forbearing. For those who take an oath for abstination from their wives, a waiting for 4 months is ordained. If then they return, Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. But if their intention is firm for divorce, Allah heareth and knoweth all things. Divorced women shall wait concerning themselves for 3 monthly periods, nor it is lawful for them to hide what Allah hath created in their wombs. If they have faith in Allah in the last day, and their husbands have the better right to take them back in that period, if they wish for reconciliation, and women shall have rights similar to the rights against them, according to what is equitable. But men have a degree of advantage over them, and Allah is exalted in power, wise. A divorce is only permissible twice. After that, the parties should either hold together on equitable terms or separate with kindness. It is not lawful for you, men, to take back any of your gifts from your wives, except when both parties fear that they would be unable to keep the limits ordained by Allah. If ye judges do indeed fear that they would be unable to keep the limits ordained by Allah, there is no blame on either of them if she gives something for her freedom. Those are the limits ordained by Allah, so do not transgress them Do not transgress them. If any do transgress the limits ordained by Allah, such persons wrong themselves as well as others. So if a husband divorces his wife irrevocably, he cannot after that remarry her until she has married another husband and he has divorced her. In that case, there is no blame on either of them if they reunite, provided they feel that they can keep the limits ordained by Allah. Such are the limits ordained by Allah, which He makes plain to those who understand. When ye divorce women and they fulfill the term of their iddah, either take them back on equitable terms or set them free on equitable terms. Do not take them back to injure them, or take undue advantage. If anyone does that, he wrongs his own soul. Do not treat Allah's signs as a jest, but solemnly rehearse Allah's favors on you and the fact that He sent down to you the book and wisdom for your instruction, and fear Allah, and know that Allah is well acquainted with all things. When ye divorce women and they fulfill the term of their iddah, do not prevent them from marrying their former husbands. If they mutually agree on equitable terms, this instruction is for all amongst you who believe in Allah and the last day. That is the course making for most virtue and purity amongst you, and Allah knows, and ye know not. The mother shall give suck to their offering for 2 whole years, if the father desires to complete the term, but he shall bear the cost of their food and clothing on equitable terms. No soul shall have a burden laid on it greater than it can bear. No mother shall be treated unfairly on account of her child, nor father on account of his child. An heir shall be chargeable in the same way, if they both decide on weaning by mutual consent, and after due consultation, there is no blame on them. If ye decide on a foster mother for your offspring, there is no blame on you, provided ye pay the mother what ye offer on equitable terms. But fear Allah, and know that Allah sees well what ye do. If any of you die and leave widows behind, they shall wait concerning themselves 4 months and 10 days. When they have fulfilled their term, there is no blame on you. If they dispose of themselves in a just and reasonable manner, and Allah is well acquainted with what ye do, there is no blame on you. If ye make an indirect offer of betrayal, or hold it in your hearts, Allah knows that ye cherish them in your hearts. But do not make a secret contract with them, except that you speak to them in terms honorable, nor resolve on the tie of marriage till the term prescribed is fulfilled. And know that Allah knoweth what is in your hearts. And take heed of Him, and know that Allah is oft forgiving, most forbearing. There is no blame on you if ye divorce women before consummation or the fixation of their dower, but bestow on them a suitable gift, the wealthy according to his means, and the poor according to his means. A gift of reasonable amount is due from those who wish to do the right thing. And if ye divorce them before consummation, but after the fixation of a dower for them, then the half of the dower is due to them, unless they remit it, or the man's half is remitted by him. In those hands is the marriage tie. And the remission of the man's half, if the nearest to righteousness, and do not forget liberality, between yourselves, for Allah sees well all that ye do. Guard strictly your habit of prayers, especially the middle prayer, and stand before Allah in a devout frame of mind. If ye fear an enemy, pray on foot or riding, as may be most convenient. But when ye are in security, celebrate Allah's praises in the manner He has taught you, which ye knew not before. Those of you who die and leave widows should bequeath for their widows a year's maintenance and residence. But if they leave the residence, there is no blame on you for what they do with themselves, provided it is reasonable, and Allah is exalted in power. Wives, for divorced women, maintenance should be provided on a reasonable scale. This is a duty on the righteous. Those doeth Allah make clear His signs to you, in order that ye may understand. Didst thou not turn by vision To those who abandoned their homes, though they were thousands in number, for fear of death, Allah said to them, Die. Then He restored them to life, for Allah is full of bounty to mankind. But most of them are ungrateful. Then fight in the cause of Allah, and know that Allah heareth and knoweth all things. I'm going to stop here. Appreciate y'all. Please be good, not bad. And I love you.